Hi guys, Aaron here with Ghost Raptor Gaming and Guns. If you've watched Payback more than a half a dozen times and still love it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, guys. Today we have a gun specifically from that movie. This is the Smith and Wesson Model 28 Highway Patrolman in .357 Magnum. Now, full disclosure here, do I have a relationship with Smith and Wesson? No. Do they have a relationship with me? No. In fact, they don't even make this gun anymore. They make the Model 27, which is a little different. We'll go over that in a minute. But that being said, no relationship there. They didn't pay me for this review, nothing like that. Now, this gun, along with the Smith and Wesson Model 27, was shown quite a bit in the movie Payback with Mel Gibson. If you haven't seen it, go ahead and check it out. Awesome film. What are the differences? Really not a lot. The Highway Patrolman has a matte black finish, and it was designed to be a little more budget friendly for police departments. The 27 is a high luster blue finish, and I believe it comes with a stock trigger. A lot of these Model 28s got custom trigger work done to them. This one is one of those guns. It did get it right from the factory, if I recall correctly, and as a result, the trigger is fantastic, absolutely incredible. Mainly because a lot of these guns were intended to be shot one-handed off of a motorcycle. So obviously, you need to make your shots count when you're doing that kind of thing, so the trigger's excellent. Now, how have I changed this gun from its original configuration? The original configuration had these wooden grips on them with the Smith & Wesson emblem. They are checkered. They're really quite nice grips, but there's one issue with those. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes because chances are you're not getting this gun with this rubber grip. So I bought this gun from Bullseye Shooting Supplies in Woonsocket, Rhode Island. I got a screaming deal. I bought this gun for $200 used, one previous owner. And now if you try and find these things, you're probably going to be paying about $600 for them used in this condition. So I got a really good deal there. So we're going to work through this thing the way we always do, front to back, top to bottom, and we'll get into some of the little caveats and features of the gun as we kind of go. So first of all, this has a double serrated front sight ramp. Just make sure this is clear. As you can see, with just a little bit of red paint at the front. There's no serrations on the top strap, and then you have a fully adjustable rear sight. This is fully adjustable for elevation as well as windage. Standard kind of notch. The hammer, as this is a single action, double action affair, is a little wider than a lot of revolvers that have that just straight kind of back hammer, slab-sided hammer kind of thing. This has a checkered hammer and an extra wide thumb pad for it. The cylinder release is checkered as well as scalloped, and it's very easy to do that even if you're a lefty, just to hit it and push it forward. This has a 6-shot cylinder, and this obviously is chambered in .357 Magnum or .38 Special. It has a large, I believe this is what they called an N frame at that point in time. As you can see, the cylinder is quite large, as well are the cylinder walls. And the reason for that was when this gun was developed, it was actually built on a 44 Special frame, and then Elmer Keith was screwing around with .38 Special and really seeing how powerful he can get it. That's where .357 Magnum comes from, and so that's what happened with this gun. They took a 44 Special frame, and then they just chambered everything for .357 Magnum, and it worked out really well. Now, this gun also features a full-length ejector rod, which is vital for a combat handgun at the time. This allows you to upend it like this and push the cases out with your thumb, particularly with .38 Specials because they're shorter than .357 Magnum. If you just do that, bam, your case is kick free. Again, if you're really worried about it, upend it and give that ejector rod a firm slap. Out they go. This is a little different than the Smith & Wesson 442 or the Model 10 snub nose I reviewed that just has that stumpy little ejector rod, which you definitely want to slap. So, going through all those features, I think it's about time that we take a look at the trigger. Now this is a double action, single action trigger. The trigger is serrated, by the way. And this one is just exceptionally smooth. You got just a tiny bit of take up, maybe a 0.5 millimeter right there, and then already you can see the hammer starts to actuate. And then right there's your brake, and your reset is all the way out, double action. It's maybe 8 pounds. It's really good for a double action trigger, just extremely smooth. And ergonomically it comes up, so it's very easy to stay on target with this thing. It comes right up. You're able to pull that trigger nice and smooth in double action and stay on target. Just really good trigger. But that's not the best part. The best part is a single action trigger. It is obtusely good. It is insane how good this trigger is. I love it. So that's what you're looking at right there. But then this thing has got like, oh my God. That's like a 2-pound trigger, if that. This thing is so light. I worry about, like, if you sneeze on this thing, it might go up. Look at that. That is an incredible trigger. Best trigger I've ever had in any handgun ever, and this does translate really well. The accuracy, maybe not for me, but for you, if you're a guy who's got just like big old bear paws and you've got a rock solid hold on your target, trust me, you're gonna shoot very, very well with this particular gun. Now this isn't in its original configuration. I do have a Hogue wraparound grip. By the way, the back strap is serrated. It matches the trigger. It's quite good. The front strap isn't serrated or anything like that. The original grips are checkered, and so they wrap around the front just like so. And same thing with these Hogue mono grips. Now they have finger grooves, and they are really textured. It's a very good grip for a revolver. And they still make these grips. They're made for a ton of different guns. The Ruger SP101, the GP100. I think they make them for the Colt Python. Basically any revolver you can think of, you can get these Hogue mono grips for it. But why did I change it from the original wooden grip? Well, let's get into that. So the original grip is a square butt model. It is rounded at the top. Both of these work very well with speed loaders, by the way. It doesn't matter what size the round is, weight, anything like that. They just drop right in. Really good with that. The issue for me was this thumb rest right there. When I was shooting like full bore 158 grain lead semi-wad carrier 357 Magnums, this thing like kicks quite a bit. Even though it's kind of heavy and bulky, it does kick quite a bit. And so, like a few other guns that I have, just due to the size of my hands, that corner right here and that scallop would come up and hit my knuckle and literally just blister my skin and pull the skin right off my hand, and I'd be bleeding at the range. And that's no fun. So I decided to change it out for these Hogue monogrips. They do really reduce the recoil. That do help with those follow-up shots. And they're just a little thinner, which helps for carry. Not like you should be trying to conceal carry this thing, because it is a cannon. But if you're a big guy and you want to do it, go for it. But I would say at least switch your grips out on this thing. So they really help with recoil control. They resolve that issue. And they are milled out, as you can see, for speed loaders. So overall, a really, really good gun. Now, breakdown and disassembly, it's a revolver, right? There isn't one. Just like the 442 that I reviewed earlier. That's it. Swing the cylinder out, brush it, lube it, close it up. You're good to go. Anything else to hit before I move on to accuracy? I think, again, that hammer being extra wide and being checkered really helps for speed shooting. If you're a competition shooter and you want to come up like so and cock that hammer single action with your offhand, it's very easy to do so. If not, you can still do it with your dominant hand and then double action. Doesn't really matter. Either way, the trigger is just absolutely excellent. I can't stress enough how much I love this gun. My brother loves shooting this gun. My dad loves shooting this gun. My girlfriend loves shooting this gun. Everybody who's ever shot this gun ever has been just really impressed with it. And this gun was made in the 1970s. Obviously, there's a little bit of holster wear as the finish. So you can tell on the finish, I should say, is coming off the gun. Just adds character in my book. Really love it, especially for the price I got it for. So this is going to serve kind of as a dual review for the Model 28 and the Model 27, which is considerably more expensive, but it is still in production. If you don't have one of these and you want to add a 357 Magnum to your arsenal, go out and get one of these. You're going to be very, very happy with it. Now, as I mentioned, that trigger is incredible. So how does that lead to accuracy? Well, here's me, 7-yard standing, as usual, 125 grain, lead round nose, hand loads, 38 specials. I don't really need to show a ton of targets. That's basically all you gotta know about this gun. That's a 1-inch group. 7 yards, standing. You could do that, okay? You could do that with this gun, no problem. Even an amateur could do that. Some of these are, you know, that's a good group. Okay, that's like a 2-inch group. Here's a flyer, that's just me. Here's another good group. That's like an 1.5 to 2-inch group. And that's shooting pretty quickly with this gun. That isn't like really taking my time with it. Let's take a look at another target here. Look at this. So Nora shot this. This is the same load, the same distance, the same gun, obviously. She's getting a little used to it. So there's some stringing here and there's some stringing here, but still, you know, like a 2-inch group. That center group right there, that is sub 1 inch. And that's dead bullseye on those rounds. 7 yards standing, okay? This gun is extremely accurate. I have thousands of rounds through this gun. It's extremely reliable. It's ergonomic. The trigger is just excellent. I mean, it's really, I can't say enough good things about this. Let's look at that trigger one more time. Holy shit, is that a good trigger. So, really love the gun. Highly recommend this gun, especially if you're a wheel gun enthusiast. And hey, if you want to use the same gun that Mel Gibson used in one of his biggest hit movies, you go ahead and get that Smith and Wesson Model 28 Highway Patrolman. This has been Aaron with Ghost Raptor Gaming and Guns. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And of course, find me on Patreon. $1 a month subscription. It goes directly to me. It helps me with the ammunition, especially with pandemic costs. And it gets you access to Q&A sessions. The third or fourth one should be coming up fairly soon. I'm not exactly sure based on what time I publish this video. But there is another one coming up. So if you want to get some questions in and ask my opinions about things, go ahead, jump in there. $1 a month. Thank you very much for your support. And you guys have a good day.